Welcome everyone to Never Alone, Never Again. We are excited today. I'm Johnny from Never Alone Recovery, and this, of course, is Krista, the sober Barbie. And today this is our second ever podcast, and our first time having a guest. And our first guest, of course, is no other than our friend Skyler Ray. Skyler!
Hey, thanks for having me on here.
Dude,
Beyond excited.
We're so excited about this. This is going to be an awesome podcast. We've got big things to talk about today.
Yes.
But
yes, we do.
You know what? Before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Of course. So, everybody, first of all, thanks for having me on here. I'm grateful. For people that don't know, my name is Skyler Ray. I'm a national touring artist who's in long-term recovery. I come from foster homes, being left on the corner at 9 years old. That's how I ended up in foster homes. Moved around a bunch of homes, homeless at 18, shooting dope, selling dope. To get my life together and trying to clean up my side of the sidewalk and being the change that I want to see in the community. I do that through therapy, through music, and I like to do music. That's what I do. So thank you for having me on here.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is amazing. And, so Skyler is a musician, and he is a hip hop artist that talks predominantly about his recovery. And, dude, your story is amazing. And, so you perform. How many shows have you performed?
On our current tour that we are doing, the Road to Recovery tour, we bring recovery-focused concerts to jails, prisons, and rehabs. We took that break basically since you guys, so I think we're at like 126 right now. 126 shows in.
You've done 126 shows that you have done for inmates. You've done them for people in treatment. You've done them all over the place. And you, how many people do you think, 126 shows, 100 people per, that's like 12,000.
I mean, to be honest with you, there's some shows we did. There was 1,200 just at the one we did in Maine, back in March. We've had some bigger shows that for these recovery shows and things like that. I don't think it would be silly, definitely in the tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of people. That's awesome.
And we get a chance to meet so many different people. There's sometimes we count like a show, and then it'll be like we go to the male's wing, and then we go to the female's wing. So, we could possibly be like 20, 30, 40,000 people in. And that might not be an exaggeration.
And you do this all over the country.
All over the country. All over. We've been... Yeah, everywhere. East Coast, West Coast, South, Midwest. I think we've been in just about every single state so far. Besides maybe like 3 or 4. I know there's like 3 or 4 we haven't. I know Tennessee's one of them. There's a couple other ones I can't remember, but yeah.
And this is amazing because not only do you perform your songs, which are from your heart, but you talk in between each song too, and you basically give a little lead between every song.
So if you guys ever see my logo, not the We to Recover logo, but if you ever see it, it's a microphone with wings. And the reason for that is music saved my life. It truly did.
Yeah, I think it's important. It's the whole art of storytelling. Also, you get a chance to resonate and connect with people. That is the one beautiful thing about, recovery is your stories that you think no one can relate to. Usually when you say it, the setting that we are in this environment, almost everybody could relate. The names, the places may have changed, but everybody has at least felt what you have felt in that moment. And that's what makes it so powerful. I like to be able to share my strength, experience, and hope through music. I'm not just a music artist. I like to be an entertainer as well. And I feel like it's most impactful to kind of let people know what I was going on in the moment, maybe how I came up with a song, what my thoughts were, because I know 100%, even though it's scary being vulnerable, I know that's where the connection and impact is made most. So
I know in January when we got to see you in person and you played for us, the people were so moved by your music, and it wasn't just like one song. It was all the songs, and like different songs hit me. I just was looking around, and there wasn't a dry eye, and it's not a bad cry.
No,
you know, it was good.
no.
It's therapy, not just for you, but for everyone else too.
It's crazy because a lot of times people don't know what to expect, right? They're thinking like a hip hop artist is coming through, like he's gonna rap some songs, gonna be a little entertainment. But I feel like I bring so much more than that. You know, I really try to set myself apart. I really try to go from the heart, and I think that's what makes it so special and magical because, you know, I never rehearse anything besides performing the music. I just speak what's on my mind and my thoughts, and, you know, the way I tie stories together, I think it really makes it like full recovery, right? It isn't just like some rapper coming in and like spitting some bars. Like, no, I'm literally sharing everything. And I think that's what makes it so relatable. I'm very blessed to be able to share the stage with my partner, my best friend, my wife, Kayla Mulcahy. She really takes it to the next level. So we got, you know, music that's relatable, and then I got the stories, and then you have Kayla sing. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's pretty dang awesome, right? Even sometimes, like, me just being in the moment, like, I get caught up. I cry sometimes during sets just because I know how magical it is while it's happening. And, like, we're so lucky. We've been booked, like, a lot of our shows are, like, third year, fourth year bookings. Like, so we're always trying to figure out how can we switch it up? How can we bring something new? PSA, this year we're bringing, like, 9 new songs. Very, very excited to put the work in, and I'm excited to enjoy the fruits of my labor and see how people connect with it. I think they're really going to like it, and the songs that we have on this new set coming up, my skill set has doubled, if not tripled. Like, it is incredible, and I cannot wait to share the stories. And, like, I've been writing so much personal songs. You know, like, some of the songs I have been writing is unbelievable, powerful. I'll play some songs sometimes and I'll just start crying because it's so unreal that hearing it, I'm like, this guy's story's so sad, and then I'm like, wait, that's my story, and the tears will just start flooding because sometimes you're removed from it, you know. And so I look forward to it. This year's Road to Recovery tour is going to take a lot of work to get started. It's probably why we're a little late on some promo because it's so hectic, and I know the workload that has to come with it, but I work the best with my back's against the wall, so I'm ready.
And you're so interactive too when you're performing.
Thank you.
And you get the whole crowd involved. Like, that was something I've never experienced, like a performance like that, and it was cool. And now we need to come see this new set.
Yeah,
you got going on.
Absolutely. And you know, you brought up Kayla, and Kayla is, you know, since we've met. No, you know, back up. We're gonna back up for a second.
Okay, I'll back it up.
So we, you know, we had an event called Freedom Fest in Charleston, South Carolina, January 26th of 2026, and Skyler and Kayla came out. And not only did they come out, they came out at no cost. You know, they played for free. Skyler was one of our speakers, and you know, and you guys not only did you entertain, but you it was just so motivational.
Thank you.
And Kayla is so phenomenal. What a gifted singer. And then you finally got married, and she made an honest man of you. Amen. And where you got married? You got married in Hawaii, right?
Hawaii. We love Hawaii. Yeah, it's I'm so grateful to have Kayla. She's just such a great teammate. She's so good with her words. She's encouraging. She's understanding. She don't put me down. And she works just as hard, if not harder than I do. Like, she does whatever she can and makes so many sacrifices so I could stay home and do music. And, you know, it's just really, truly beautiful what she does for me. And that's why, like, I got her back to the fullest. Like, no one could ever say anything bad about Kayla in my presence. I will shut it down because I know what she does for me, right? She makes me want to get up and be a better man every single day. And just to have somebody like that and be extremely talented and be on the road, knowing that even if for some reason I'm not on my A game, it's still going to be an incredible show because she throws it down on the stage. And so, like, it's a blessing to have somebody like that in your corner, that talent, that supportive. We tied the knot over in Hawaii. We love Hawaii. This is our third time there together. We got booked for a couple shows the first time we went. Then we took a month vacation there. And then we went this third time. Now I got a tour sponsor called Pain Pod. It's a safe alternative to like drugs, right? It's like body recovery and stuff. One of the owners is Australia. One of the owners is in Hawaii. So he's going to be flying us back to Hawaii for like some events, some concerts, some like content. So we love Hawaii. We do. And we'll be back.
You know, Krista doesn't know this, but Skyler initially asked me to be his best man. And I did. I was going to be the best man. But then I told him my best man speech. I was just going to quote Tupac.
And I shut it down.
And I told him I was going to get up there with a mic in front of him, in front of his family and everybody, and say, "Congratulations on the wedding. I hope your wife knows she got to play it for life, and there's no bullshitting." So I
was vibing, but I wasn't feeling it, and I was like, "Nah."
So not only was I dropped from the from the wedding party, I wasn't even invited.
I couldn't even invite him because he might still do it. I didn't do that.
I know. I don't blame you.
And I'm glad I let him know, and he told me within 24 hours because I was able to get a refund on the plane ticket. And I was like, "Bro, no." And he's like, "I'll just come," and I said, "No, you won't."
Probably
the dog got his gig. So
probably the best move for everybody.
It was the best move for everybody. But we love you.
Oh man, Skyler, I'm telling you, brother, this is so awesome having you here. Let me ask. We joke around a lot, but I want to ask you, for your music, dude. It's so personal. It's so heartfelt. Let's talk about inspiration real quick.
Okay.
When you're sitting there, where's your inspiration? Is it just from memories, or is it just something might have happened? Tell us about that.
A lot of times it draws from my pain. A lot of times I'm not able to process my pain. And music's the only time I'm able to do that. Like, I have a hard time not even talking about stuff, but like really feeling what I went through and the impact and understanding what it has done to me. A lot of times I'm like, they're like, "Oh, you've been through a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And I truly feel that way, but I mask it from myself so well that I'm not able to process these emotions. So when I get into my music, I cry, I laugh, I do all these things and I'm able to heal. Right? Because when you act like it doesn't hurt, and like I said, I mask it for myself. I don't know. Even when I was left on the corner at 9 years old, I didn't know I was hurt. Then I understand that, it caused all this, attention seeking, wanting to be loved, outside validation, all these abandonment issues that I never even knew what I was going through until I worked the steps. Right? And so, like, music, I use my past as my inspiration. What maybe can I teach? Maybe what can I learn? There's some songs I just want to heal. There's like some things I start thinking about it and then I start crying and I'm like, this is what this song is going to be about. Whether people like it or not, I'm going to put it out there and I'm sure people can relate. As far as structure or quality wise, I always try to aim to be like Eminem. As far as like anthems or themes, I always try to aim for like a Macklemore, right? So I try to bring like Eminem bars on a Macklemore theme. That's kind of like my goal every single song. And, I'm getting better with my craft. I think my pain is the biggest inspiration because that's what I have. It's my story, right? What else better is there to draw from than real life? I'm not a gangster. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a ladies' man. I'm a cornball who went through addiction, that sold dope, and went jail, prison, foster home. So, like, that's my story, and I'm going to use it to my advantage because nobody can be me better than nobody could do me better than I could do me, right? And so when you have a story, your best advantage for not only like strategy for getting it out there, exposure, is being yourself. People could tell when you're authentic, and it works. And ever since I started doing that, it has taken off. So I'm always drawn from my past. Whatever seeds come up, I'll hear a beat and something will spark up. Maybe me and Kayla had a conversation the day before, and about my past or something like that, and I'll hear a beat and I'm like, yep, that's what I'm talking about. So I think pain is powerful, and it's a chance for me to heal. Music's my recovery meetings.
It really is, and the best thing about your music is that it's extremely diverse, and because of its diversity, it's relatable to so many different people, And they tell our past becomes our greatest asset, right? Our past becomes our greatest asset, and that's because we were able to relate and use our past, like. Because of where I was and where I am now, I am able to help men from all over the place. And because of Krista's past, she's able to help women and blah, blah, blah. And with your music, dude, when we sat in Charleston, I looked around while people were watching you, and, I saw men crying. I saw women crying. I saw people embracing, experiencing the trauma and the pain, and not only just the past and the trauma and the pain, but the solution, because you talk about that and you're living that, and that's enormous.
I honestly think what you said is so spot on. Our past is our biggest asset. Me and my dad have talked about it a few times, and he's always like, I'm so sorry you went through all this, and sorry, like, things happen in your life, and we both always come to the same conclusion. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be able to help as many people as I did. And I came out with a wonderful life, and it's only going to get better. So it's like, I went through like temporary pain to be able to help many others. Like, I would take that, the type of person I am, and I know it's the type of people you are, I would take that pain 100 times over if I could help people, because that's what it's about. And, it builds character, it builds toughness, it builds grit. Becoming a survivor can teach you so much more than being spoon-fed, and I think it's really cool to be able to show people perseverance, to be able to push through and show people that it does get better. Because sometimes, I'm sure you guys deal with this all the time. When I'm talking to people and they're going through it, sometimes I'm like, I really don't know, have the words, but I can sincerely tell you with all honesty that life does get better, because I know that. And that's why, it gives me more confidence. I don't want to give up on people, because even no matter what they're going through, I want them to taste what my life is like, and if they can make it out on this side like I did, like, that's worth it, because there is such a beautiful life, after addiction, when recovery comes in. We have a good chance at a real shot at living our dreams, things that we wanted. And this is what people deserve. Everybody who's going through addiction, the ones that, not saying everybody, but the ones that people make fun of or laugh at, or look at that homeless person, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a saying, I believe, there goes I, when it comes to addiction. But, like, those people that society deemed out deserve a beautiful life. No matter their past, no matter what they've been through, no matter how much they think they don't have value, they can contribute such a beautiful contribution in so many ways to the community, society, their families rooting from. That's somebody's little girl, that's somebody's little son. Like, why do they just get counted out? And so I think, being able to do my music and share that and inspire people, and showing that I had the same fears as them, but, I stuck with it even when I didn't feel like it, and things ended up working out. I think that's important.
And here's a few words from our sponsor, Never Alone Recovery.
Never Alone Recovery is a resource center for anything addiction or mental health. We are a toll-free number. Feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 855-831-9996. This is available for someone who's suffering, also parents of those who are suffering, colleagues, whoever. Feel free to call at any time. Krista, what else do we have?
We host 5 free Zoom meetings a week, recovery meetings. We host a recovery TikTok live every morning, and you can find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and all of it will be in our description.
Dude, that's so important. It's so important, especially you just said a magic word, and it's fears. You know, we all have fears, and they're all locked inside. And you, with what you do and how you recover out loud, you're putting them on display. And you know, I mean, recover out loud is something that we're all doing, and you're doing it with not only grace, but humility. And I mean, you think about a performer, right? They're on stage, they want the attention, they want this and that, but I mean, you collaborate with a lot of other performers, and you're out there doing it together. And because if one can send a message this way, another can send it. I know you've performed with Benjamin Lerner, I know you've performed with Kalichi, and
quite a bit.
And who give me a
He DMs with Eminem. I mean,
just get out of here. Promo. That's joking. Let me see. I've done work with like Matt Keegan. I know me and Real Young Swag, we got a song coming out. I also have a song coming out with Kalichi, Kayla, and Benjamin Lerner. Who else? Me and Casey got something cooking. Me and Casey makes music. So we have quite a bit of artists that we have been working with and want to work with. And things are in the process. I have so many. I have probably like 10, 15 songs that I need to finish up. Right. But yeah, it's amazing to be able to share other people's stories and work with them. I don't need or want all of the spotlight. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I like credit, but I also like to get in there and do my best and then leave it up to the viewers of what they decide. I think that's important,
Honestly, I see you, working with Macklemore in the future, and
I would love that.
Eminem in the future, and Crystal will make some calls. She's gonna make this happen, because I mean, you with the message that you share, the message you give off and convey to people. I mean, that just seems right to collaborate with people like that, and I can't wait to hear this collaboration with the whole group. This is going to be
Thank
great.
you. That's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. And my thing is, I don't believe in no viral moment. I don't believe in, some record label coming in. I've done stuff in the past where it just didn't feel right, things like that. But I just don't believe in a magic moment coming to save the day. I believe in hard work, consistency, and over time you become undeniable. And that is what I'm currently working on. I don't believe, like I said, no magic moment, no magic fix. Not saying it can't happen, but that's not what I'm relying on. I'm willing to get up every single day and grind like I did for my addiction. And I know it's going to pay off. It's been paying off. And that's the only way I'm a worker bee. I don't know any other way. I don't just wait for something to happen. Let me do another one. Let me get another one.
Well, music's so healing, and it's been helpful in my journey. I know it's been helpful in Johnny's journey, and you're helping make recovery music is kind of like taking off, and I think that's even
Big
better
time.
because they're getting their recovery in another avenue, and you're helping.
It's a cool thing to be
the way.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to be clean and sober nowadays. It's so weird because for so long, decades and decades and whatever, right? Time period it was drink and do this. And don't get me wrong, that will always be a thing somewhere. But I know that it's no longer an embarrassing thing to be an addict in recovery. And it's no longer an embarrassing thing to be an addict in general. Let me just put that out there. But to get your stuff together. And it's like, Jelly Roll, all these artists that are paving the way. And there's so many, like, now concerts are having like all these recovery stuff and their own recovery spin-offs and sections. And sports places are embracing it. I seen Sober
Mike,
Hats, right?
yeah, yeah.
You didn't drink, you sign up, you got a free, like, that's what the environment is, because the world is shifting. There's been so much damage and people are trying to repair it. And I'll tell you what, it's because advocates like you guys and what you guys do are refusing to be silent, refusing not to acknowledge the ugly baby, right? You got to talk about it. You got to be there, and you got to say, hey, this is what happens. Now, let's fix it. I'm here for you. And I think the world is starting to shift. Like, even with young kids, even like 21-year-olds, there's like such statistics that the drinking numbers, everything is coming down. Like, when the Thunder won the championship last year, right? They got hundreds and hundreds of bottles of champagne, right? First of all, a lot of the team's so young, but a lot of them have never drank in their life. There was like 5 or 6 players that never had a drink before, and they didn't want to drink, and they literally only went through a bottle and a half. But they were talking about back in the 90s, early 2000s, early 2010s, all 100 bottles would be gone. They literally only did a bottle and a half out of the 100-something bottles. Like, and that's just, and I use that as an example because that's the way the world is shifting, right? Because, a lot of our people's parents have been through addiction. A lot of people have seen the chaos, and, with fentanyl and all the overdoses, people are tired of losing friends, and people want to do right. And I think enough actors, celebrities, we've seen the memes, we've seen people talk about it, music artists are preaching this message. The best thing I ever did with my life was got clean. These are people, icons that people look up to all their life. They got posters on the wall thinking, oh, I want to be just like them. Oh, I want to be just like her, and now they're coming out and like, yeah, I got clean. I did this. And it's like, people are commending them for it and want to aspire to be like that. And I think that hope, the message of recovery, is so loud. I know a lot of people are like, don't promote outside, don't do this, don't do that. I respect it in 100 ways, but I also respect 1,000 times over the one that refuses to be quiet. Because it's important to show change is possible. It's important to show that a life out there is so beautiful and we can reach it. And you don't have to do it alone. We can do it together. I think that's what's so important. And I love the direction the world is going. So, yeah. Jelly Roll, Eminem, Macklemore, like, I'm there. When it comes, I'm ready.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up the anonymous, because there's a lot of people that don't quite understand what Recover Out Loud means.
Yes.
Most programs are programs of anonymity, meaning that what you hear here, when you leave here, let it stay here. I can't go and tell Krista's story to everybody else. I can't go tell Skyler's story to everybody else. That stays in that room. But my own story, my own experience, strength, and hope, I can shout that from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
I can say that I was broken. I'm still broken, but I'm working on it. And life is a hell of a lot better now. This is why wouldn't we want to say that? But addiction is still in the dark in a lot of places. It's still in that secret place. And by us coming out and saying, yes, I am in recovery and life's a lot better, we might get a chance to help that person that's still, battling with just the idea. Because we put on that facade for so long. We put on the idea that I am fine. Everything's good.
Yes.
And it's not. And that comes for addiction and mental health, and your songs talk about that. And Krista's a great one. She's been recovering out loud for a long time, and she is a great example.
I seen the billboard.
I know. I was going to ask you a question, Skyler. Do you catch a lot of crap for recovering out loud? Like, do people tell you, because on my social media, I catch it a lot. In the billboard.
I seen you catching some flack. Yes, that is crazy. Because Johnny, like you said, it's the traditions and namity, the word that no one could pronounce, right? Is like, I can't be like, oh yeah, I seen Krista and Burnside Blues last night. Johnny was there. He was talking about, how we got drunk last year, and that would be breaking traditions. But to tell your own story, I think that's fair game. Our addiction was on full display.
Yeah.
Why can't our recovery, right?
They blasted my
That's what I'm
mugshot.
saying.
Why can't I say I recover out
You
loud
know,
and you can too on a billboard?
I do get some. I have got flack a few times, for having recovery gear. People are like, oh, you're making a profit or doing this or
Yep.
using recovery to boost your career. And I've learned to be nicer in my response. I'm getting better, right? But my thoughts is how dare you tell me what I could say about my story? And if I can't rap about my addiction or my recovery because of some rule set in place that got set up in Ohio in 1960 or whatever, right? If I can't speak all that stuff, and I'm not bashing them at all. It's great what everybody does. But if I can't do that, what am I going to rap about? Like, oh, I fed my dog today. I rolled out of bed. Like, that is literally my story and who I am. And that is the whole point of music, is expressing yourself through art. And as far as like recovery gear, like that's my identity. That's my brand. If I choose to do that, I do so much stuff. And like, I start thinking, I want to hit them with just paragraphs of what I do for the recovery community. And I've typed it out a few times and then I delete it and I just do the prayer emoji or, because it's like you said, I came out for free. It's like, yes, we get paid at recovery shows, but there's times we go out there, we donate our time, we do this, and that's what a lot of the money goes for, is so that we don't have to turn down stuff. It's like if there's a center, it's like, hey, we need you. We have no funds. It's like, okay, well, I did make some money off this recovery gear, this recovery shows. Like we can do that. We could afford to do this. We could, and that's the whole point of it, is to give back. Like me and Kayla donate all the stuff to like homelessness, shelters, and go drop off clothes every year, everything like that. So it's kind of crazy because me, by putting it on blast, creates the resources for me to give even more.
Yeah, your phone isn't free. Wi-Fi is
No.
not free for all those late night phone calls and
We all got-
messaging back. The gas
We all
to
got
get
bills.
to the homeless shelters or the rehabs.
All that.
I mean, and it's not the stuff here. Social media doesn't pay that much. I mean, it's not much.
No.
And I don't get paid. I got hacked. I don't get paid at all on Facebook. So
and Benjamin got demonetized. Like, so there's a lot of things, because we can't even say our drug of choice in the comment without getting hit and flagged, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like we are using our story to get some resources to pay bills and to be able to help people back. There's nothing wrong with that. I 100%, people are going to have opinions, but I could sleep at night and put my head on the pillow and go right to sleep knowing that I'm being my true self.
Amen.
And I urge people, because I see so many comments from so many influencers, how people's stories are changing their lives or they got clean, and it's like, is that not what we want? Should we be silenced and let somebody suffer? What about the ones that died and passed away that never got a chance to speak up? Don't we have a right to be there for our friends and our community? Don't we have a right to say enough is enough? Right? And that's what it comes down to, is like, people are always going to judge. People are always going to have words, and I get it, especially like different eras, different, I get that. And it's no disrespect to them. It's just like, I'm going to do me and you're going to do you. All together, we're for the same cause. It's okay if we don't see it.
Yep.
And so it's just having that mutual understanding, and I refuse to walk a different path.
Dude, this is amazing, and you're amazing. And right now, we got something exciting, something really exciting. There is a song that you are dropping soon, but have not dropped yet. And
that is right.
We get to experience it for the first time. And I'm excited about this. Skyler, go ahead. Tell us a bit about the song, and then we're gonna listen to it.
Yeah, I got you. So look, the song is called "Brother I Never Knew," and it's based on a real life story. It's based on me and my brother's lives. The whole reasoning behind it is, you know, a lot of times all my memories with my brother are from when I was 9 years old and younger. We lived in one foster home together for like a year. And it's like, then I lived with him for like 6 months while I was finishing high school. But other than that, once I turned 18, I don't have an adult relationship with him. I maybe seen him 5 times since then, maybe 10 times. You know what I'm saying? If we're not forgetting any dates. And so it's like the brother I never knew, because we don't have an adult relationship, because addiction came in, jails, prison, everything that comes with drugs. Right. And so it comes back, this song dates back to the moment of, you know, us being close, being left on that corner, getting separated to foster homes. Because when we got left on the corner, we waited on that corner for like 3 hours for mom to come back. The police came, was like social workers. They put my brother in one car, they put me in another car, and we went separate ways. And so like the song is about growing up to where we're at now. You know, my brother's only been out like 3-4 years since he's been 18. He's 4 years older than me. He's 39. You know, I'm 35 myself. And so the whole song's about that. And now he's currently in jail, looking at a 4th prison stint. You know, but it's like when he got out this last time, I moved him to Portland, you know, or helped him get over here, helped him get probation transferred over, helped him get off probation. But of course, addiction still was relevant, you know. And so like I never even got a chance to hang out with him. So I would always tell Kayla, like, you know, or tell him, like, we never get a chance to hang out. Like, I feel like I don't even know him. I don't know him. We have no adult time together as men. We knew each other as boys, but not as men. So this song is called Brother I Never Knew. It drops June 5th, the first Friday of June. But we're going to hear it first. Here.
We're going to hear it first here on Never Alone, Never Again. Okay, Megan, you want to play this for us?
Oh, it's your picture.
That was the first day he got out of prison this last time. I picked him up and dropped him off a bunch of clothes, everything like that.
Oh, look at the baby picture. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry.
I still see that corner like it's taped in my brain. 2 kids, 1 curve, no one saying our names.
We was posted by the shelter stairs, plastic bag swinging. My hand in yours, I was young, barely knew what we was in. You're 4 years older, but you look just as lost. Trying to act tough, but I could tell what it cost. I asked if mom coming back, you said, yes, she will. Voice kinda cracked, but you kept it real still. Cars passing headlights, dragging lines on the street. You told me stay close with my shoes, hurt my feet. You cracked a joke, try to lighten the weight. Even back then, you was carrying fate. Then a car pulled up, strangers asking our names. Clipboard smiles, but it all felt strange. Split us in the system, different homes, different nights. Different people telling us what's wrong and what's right. You went one way, I got pulled another route. Same blood, same start, still they spread us out.
Take me back to them days on the curb, me and you. Before the world got heavy, before we both withdrew. You were my big brother, I looked up back then. Now I see your face and don't know you again. Take me back to straighten these cardboard and play. Before everything we loved got taken away. We were just kids, nothing to prove. That was the brother I know.
You turned 18, heard it through a call collect. Your voice through the static, hard to even connect. Said you caught a case, didn't say too much, but I heard that distance in a way you clutch. I hear 18 different sleeping out in the cold. Bus stop, dance with a jacket full of holes. Needle in my arm just to quiet my head. Trying to outrun every word we never said. Same age, different cage, still locked inside. Yours had bars, mine had nowhere to hide. When the night's cardboard under my back, snow hitting my face while the world went black. Sirens cut through, then the cuffs came quick. Next thing I know, I'm booked in thick concrete rooms and numbers where names should be. Thinking about you like you thinking about
back of them days on the curb, me and you. Before the world got heavy, before we both withdrew. You were my big brother, I looked up back then. Now I see your face and don't know you again. Take me back to scrape me, cardboard and play. Before everything we loved got taken away. We were just kids, nothing to prove. That was the brother. I'm 7 years clean, yeah, I fought my way through, but it don't mean much when I can't reach you. You waiting on trial, 4th time in line. I'm out here free, but I carry your time. Wish we could talk with no glass in between, no guards, no clocks, just say what we mean. No past weighing down every word that we said. Just brothers trying to meet again. I don't blame you, I seen how it goes when nobody shows you the road. You just go, you taught me young how to stand when it hurts. Even when life put your face in the dirt, I still see you laughing, kicking cracks in the ground, saying we'd race when nobody around. You said you'd win cause your legs was longer. Didn't know life would make you fight that much harder. If I could go back, I'd sit on that step, tell you I remember, I ain't forget. Tell you hold tight when they pull us apart, cause distance don't cancel what's said in the heart. But time don't rewind, in the past don't bend. Now I'm writing letters I don't know where to stand. Still my brother, even after all we've been through. Just wish I still knew you like I used to. Take me back to them days on the curb, me and you. Oh, before the world got heavy, before we both withdrew. Oh, you were my big brother, I looked up back then. Now I see your face and don't know you again. Take me back to scrape knees, cardboard and plate, before everything we loved got taken away. We were just kids, nothing to prove. Yeah, was the brother I knew. Yeah, same blood, different past, still my brother.
That's got me in my feels. My mama heart. My mama heart.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids that are 2 years apart. Like, that just, oh, and it just brings you back to, like, I mean, a lot of this stuff, the pain comes from when you were kids and teenagers.
Yeah.
And now you have to be big brother.
I
And
know.
you are. And, oh, I can't, you got to get a reaction video of him or some kind of recording of when he hears that.
I know.
And see, this is so powerful, and the music you do is so powerful. Like, I immediately think of my personal relationship with my little brother, and you know, while our stories are so different, they're exactly the same. You know,
I know.
And I wish I still had the relationship I had with my brother now that I did back then when we were kids. And oh, dude, it's just. They're just pulling emotions out, right?
Yeah,
Hits ya.
You know?
so much comes from that because I missed out on my relationship with my little brothers because of my addiction, you know, and that. Oh.
It's crazy because, like, you know, you have the relationship as kids, and then you get older, and then addiction comes in, and then, like, everybody's different paths, even though it's the same, and then it's just like, now we're old. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that go? So many people have, like, relationships with their family members, and it's just like, we didn't really get that.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it feels like you're missing a piece of life. Like, where did that go?
Yeah.
You know, I was born with a mom, a dad, and a brother, and now it's like haven't talked to my mom in over a year. That's a whole different story. Like, my brother, don't have an adult relationship with my brother. It's just like me and my dad, and it's just like, what is this? There's so many holes and pieces in me, and it's just like I'm trying to fit them, and you know, and that's where the music comes in. And it's like, I may not be able to fix it, but I can talk about it, and hopefully, you know, that helps heal other people as well.
That
I
song
love
was
that song.
that song was brewing for a while in you. I can tell.
It was.
I can tell.
It was. I've had these emotions for years and years, and you know, I'd find myself getting angry or upset, or you know, he's like getting caught up again or doing this, and then like he's in jail, and then like swearing he's gonna do right. He's like, I've never told you I'd get clean. Like, you know, I'm telling you now. So like, I'm pulling like recovery connections. I'm showing up to court dates. Cops are lying. The judges like literally said, you know, I wasn't gonna let you out, but since your brother showed up, and you know, I know of him and all this, like, I'm gonna let you out. We're gonna try this. Then he messes up and goes back, and then he wants me back in court again at my brother, and it's just like, I'm doing all these things to try to get him to be good, stay good. When he first got out of prison, me and Kayla were picking him up, driving him over 2 hours to his court appointment, and then drive 2 hours back. Like, these are things that we had to do at once a week for like a year and a half just to get him to live in Portland, just to be able to, how to take him there. And it's just like all these things that we're doing. Like I've done, early on, then finally I put the boundary down. Went to his little trap hotel to hang out with him, even with me being in recovery, just to like play video games or hang out. And then like, he'd show up with like 10, 15 people after I've been sitting in that hotel for like an hour and a half. And then finally it was like, I don't feel good because if it gets rated with my past, like I'm screwed. It doesn't matter if I could pass a clean UA. It doesn't matter if I look them and say, hey, I have nothing to do with this. Like everybody's going down, right?
Yeah.
And so like I finally had to put my foot down, but that's the steps that I took because I was wanting that relationship with my brother. And these are all the situations I'd put myself in. It's like every time he gets arrested, like go grab all of his stuff. Now like I have a room full of all this stuff, and then it's like, drop it back off, do this, put money on his books, oh, put money on my book so I can call you, but then he only calls his lady, and then he only calls me when he needs more money. And it's like, bro, I don't have money. Like, I'm literally like trying to figure out this, just got married, like skipped out on vapors for the week to be able to like take care of you, do this. Like, I just because you have social media success doesn't mean like you're just rolling in money, like, like I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to be a good brother. I show up to all your court dates, like, but that's what the song goes to, is like take me back to when we were kids and we actually had a real relationships, when we used to hang out, go swimming, go to the beach, play video games, like do sports together, like, like that's what the whole song is about. Because addiction comes in and it just dismantles family, and these are time that you can't get back, and all I could do is, like Krista said, now you got to be the big brother, and all I can do is lead by example. Like we can't fix nobody, like we cannot carry the addict, but we can carry the message. And that's all I could. If I had to go like through like the whole, if I had to sit in my brother's situation, like the trying to get clean and the relapse, like, and we could trade places, I would do that because I feel like I can manage and get clean. I'd never want to be in that situation, but like he's never been able to do it. He's never like swap places. Let me go through that pain. I would do that for my brother in a heartbeat. But it's like I don't have that option. So all I can do is try to be good and show him that it's possible.
Yeah.
Dude, this is amazing. I mean, being able to not only thank you first off for
of course
allowing us to hear this song, but then just to be able to hear the artist talk about the song and the meaning of this is phenomenal.
Thank you,
love everything about this. And you're setting the bar high. This is only our first guest, and now everybody's gonna make Krista cry.
It's okay. It's normal. It's normal. But how many people that song is going to touch and help, and even the addict themselves.
Yeah. I think it's
gonna help your brother. I think it's gonna help your brother.
I know. I'm so excited to release it because I think, like, I don't know, every once in a while you make something and you don't have the feeling that it's necessarily going to be bigger, but the impact weight on the scale is just going to be so much more. And I just don't see how addiction runs in families. So I just don't see how this isn't going to be relatable, especially when I bring it on tour and perform it. Of course, I would have Kayla be singing the hook.
That's what I was.
I'm gonna remove it.
Who was singing the hook in the song?
So, Alias, the same guy from like Drowned In and things like that. My song Drowned In and a few other songs. But when we're performing it, it's gonna be stripped down and it's gonna be Kayla. I'll probably leave a little bit of the vocals in the back so Kayla can harmonize with it, right? But yeah, it's gonna be me and Kayla singing it.
So dope, and you're gonna be performing this song
on tour this year
on all the tour dates. So if anybody is anybody's planning on going and checking out Skyler, you're gonna hear this song on the tour, dude. This is so fun. I can't wait.
I couldn't imagine hearing that in jail. Like,
I know. I'll probably cry. I'll probably cry a few times while I'm performing. I tend to tear up a lot of times. And one of the few times, like I remember one time somebody was asking about my brother's situation, and it was back when I was like visit him at the hotels to try to just like hang out with him, and like people, I'm like literally a couple years clean, and we're in the hotel, and people are like smoking dope, shooting dope, and I'm literally just on the couch in between people, but I would do that just so I could like spend 20 minutes with my brother, 30 minutes with my brother. Like it probably isn't smart, but I was that comfortable in my recovery. I was willing to, like a Libra scale, weigh it out. Like, and thank God I didn't get high. I had no urges. I'm very blessed, when it comes to that. But like, I can't wait to perform it, because like I've said, had people ask me about my brother during shows, and I've done broke down, ugly crying, like show stopped for like 5 minutes.
Have you
And
thought
I'm in jail
about
because
trying
Jesus
to play at where your brother is?
So right now he is, I have not, fun fact, the jail here in Portland is where he's at. They actually did a talent show one time. I was the first one to win the talent show, and I won at multiple stages of it when I was incarcerated. Got double trays, triple trays. It was dope, right? Oh. But no, I have not performed, like performed at this place. He's waiting for it right now. It's either he's going to go upstate or he's going to go federal. So we're just waiting. But I will probably try to reach out and see what I can do, because I think that would be incredible. I probably just can't say that my brother's incarcerated, because I probably won't, security reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to keep it hush hush.
Yeah. Yeah. Conflict of interest there. Yeah.
Yes. So
This has been so awesome, Skyler.
Thank you.
I just thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for being a big, bright, shining example of how recovery can work, and for all the people that you help. I really hope that people that hear this podcast go and check out all your music, because it's you never know what's gonna hit someone and affect them and help them. And make them cry like Krista.
And it's his Facebook posts and his content too is amazing too on all his social media.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
And he always answers, and he's quick. So
I do try my best.
He's very dependable.
Yes, thank you so much. We can only keep what we got by giving it away. I know I've been very blessed in my recovery. And I know so many greater and bigger blessings are coming that I can't even imagine. I think my deepest desires will come true. But all I can do, like I said, is lead by example, be there for others. And I understand it takes a community. It's not just one person. So I always try to be there for others, because I know how good it feels to have support, to be loved, to be accepted. So I want to make sure that anybody I come across feels the exact same feeling that I do. I couldn't do this without the recovery community. And so I owe the recovery community forever. The heights and lengths and career that they gave me means the world to me. These have been my dreams since a 9-year-old boy. So it's whatever I can do in return for the community, I'm there. I want no one to ever feel like they are forgotten, or that they don't have value, no matter how short term that they were in my life or whatever. Like, I'm there for everybody. Everybody deserves to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. And that is my mission, is to take this music as far as I can while doing those 3 things. And never forgetting where I come from. It, I think, is something that I aim for and strive for to do along this path and journey. So,
Skyler, thank you so much for being here with us, dude. I mean, you're going to be on here a lot, so this isn't goodbye. This is see you later. And thanks again, Krista. Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm very grateful for Skyler, and you are part of the Never Alone Recovery family. We're
family.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. We love you. We love all of you that are listening and watching, and so grateful for you and everything you do, and for Kayla putting up with you, because if she didn't put up with you,
I'm a lot.
we wouldn't have you here right now, that's for sure.
100%.
So grateful for her. But thank you, everyone, for this episode of Never Alone, Never Again, and we'll see you again next time.
See you soon.